Greetings, class, and welcome to week number 1, the full week number 1 of CIS 4670. This week we are going to be looking at what we need to set up for the rest of the semester. As I said in my announcement that I posted on Blackboard, we have a lot to do with getting software, downloading software, and getting things set up so that we can do our labs and our homeworks for the rest of the time that you have with us till December. So I want to jump right in, but just a quick review. Ensure that you're going through the weekly folders. They are week 1 through week 16, our week finals week. And in them, you're going to see everything that you need to do for that week. It will map to the syllabus as when things are assigned or due. And like this week, I put in the link for the VM for Lab 2 for you to download and get into your VMware Workstation environment, which is what we're going to talk about here in just a second. So with that, I have also put in a couple other web links here for software introductions. This is a good one for week 1. It's a demo of how to install VMware Workstation, and also one for where to get and how to install Cisco's Packet Tracer, which is what you're going to need for lab number 1. So follow along those videos as you go through. If you, I do want to show you where you need to go for the VMware Workstation software in case you don't have it. And there's a couple of places you can get it. But the most important part is you need to get it from Cal Poly site because you can get a product key that will last not just this semester but for an entire year. So let's say that you're taking me for 4670 now and you're taking me for 4710 in the spring. You're already set up and ready to go by that time. So if you just do a quick software Cal Poly Pomona DreamSpark or Cal Poly Pomona DreamSpark, you'll come up to this Computer Information Systems link. Software Cal Poly Pomona DreamSpark. Right, and then you follow this link here. You will be asked to log in with your Cal Poly username, your Cal Poly email. All right, and here's where you can get the software and download it. So we are on VMware Workstation 15 or Fusion. If you're one of those Mac users, you can download the VMware Fusion and use this software. Everything that I do in the class, all the demos, all the walkthroughs, if I have any, all the hints and tips and tricks and everything else, they're all done on Windows. I'm not a Mac person. I say that up front so that you completely know that. You can get Player as well, but since we're working in an environment where we're going to be running multiple VMs simultaneously, we want to be using Workstation. If you have an older version of Workstation and you want to update it, be careful. If you have a permanent license key and you upgrade it and you use the key that you download here, it is only going to be good for a year and then you're going to lose that licensing. If you're working off of, say, VMware Workstation 14 or older, that's perfectly fine. You can use it. It will work for this class. We're not using any type of ESXi collaboration, vMotion, or anything crazy like that. It's just standard VMware Workstation networking, and we're off to the races. So if you click on that and download it, eventually, and I've already done this a gazillion times, as you can see, once you're done, you've downloaded it, you can go to your card up here and you can look at your accounts and orders. So if you ever need to download it again, right, you can see that I've downloaded here. You can view the details. And that serial number is what you need right there. Okay, as you can see, mine, I did this back for summer. and I am good until May 31st. All right, so with that, after you download it and you have the package, if you double-click on the package and install it, and that you can see in the other video, you'll go next, 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 done, basically. When you launch VMware, this is kind of like the last step of that video, and I don't think it's in there. Yeah, it came up on my other screen. Hang on. All right. You can go to Help and enter a license key, and you take that key, and that's where you enter it. And you click on OK. And when you first download it and install it, you're going to have a 60-day trial. When you do that, you're good for a year. So if you want to wait and have the 60-day trial and then download it later on in the semester, you'll have it for 14 months instead of 12 months. So just saying, you know, buyer beware here. A little helpful tip and trick for you. All right, and from here, we will go through and we will download Kali Linux and upload and set it up and I'm sorry, I'm in 4710 right now. We'll download our Windows VM and upload it in here and get it working and everything else. So with that, I think that's all we need. The other part of this, again, if you download the Lab 2 VM, it's in a zip format, so you'll have to download it. You'll need to put it in your VM folder. Again, I'm working with Windows here, so you Mac users, it may be a little bit different. Under your documents in Windows 7 and Windows 10, you'll have a virtual machine folder after you install VMware Workstation. And here's where you will put that VM, and you'll extract it right here. And from there, we can go through the process of extracting it, which we're going to do on Thursday. Okay, so that's going to do it for this lecture today. Again, you have these other tutorials to go through. This week is all about setting up your environment, all about getting what you need done, and getting ready for your first lab, which is going to be done in Packet Tracer starting, I believe, week 5. So we have a few weeks for that to be due. So we'll be going through Lab 1 here on Thursday, probably next week when we get into Chapter 1 about managing risks and everything else. So that is a hardware hardening, a router switch hardening lab. So that's going to do it for lecture this week. Not a whole lot. Your time is supposed to be spent on getting your environment set up, going through those tutorials, and kind of getting yourself back into the flow for doing the hands-on work, looking at what you had done in your 2670 class primarily, and getting ready to do your labs. So that's it for now. I'll be having another video a little bit later this week to do a little bit more in-depth detail on the setup of VMware Workstation. So that'll do it. Thank you very much, and we'll see you around.